Downhill skateboarding can be a dangerous or calming sport. Today I'm going to talk about the disciplines of it, how it's done, the setup, what's on your board, and the safety. First I'm going to talk about downhill. Downhill is obviously when you're going down a hill. It can be alone, with friends, or at a race. Downhill skiing consists of competitive racing, high-speed pack runs, which means when you're with friends, can be up to 10 people, maybe more, and you're going down courses which are in S-turns. They could be straight, and some of them require drifting, which I will talk about when you slide. The world record holder for the fastest speed on a skateboard is 80.74 miles per hour, and it was set by Michio Erban. It is actually in the Guinness Book of World Records, which you could find. And I'm actually going to talk about freeride. Freeride is a unique style of skateboarding, and it's similar to cars drifting, which could give you a better example of it. It is when you push your board sideways at any speed, pretty much doing a 180, or just checking it, which checking is when you put it out, and then you suck the board back in and keep going downhill straight. And a 180 is when, obviously, you're sliding and you go the other way, and you right away switch. And switch is when you're riding your board backwards because, as some of you may know, regular or goofy, you may ride regular or goofy, and when you go the opposite way, you're riding switch. Puck slides, which you have pucks, I did not bring it today. You wear gloves with urethane pucks on them, which allow you to put your hands on the pavement and slide them, and that allows you to be it allows you to put your hands on, obviously, and when you're doing downhill, it allows you to do slides that let you stay in your tuck, because in your tuck you want to be really low to the ground. And yep, freestyle is a discipline where you can be as unique as possible. Street skateboarding greatly impacts the way tricks are done in the freestyle scene. For example, freestyle are long, they're not like this board, they're actually boards that are just as long as this, but they have double kicks, which can be about this wide, all the way from this wide, just like a skateboard. And they're flip tricks collaborating with sliding. So you could do a slide big spin, which is pretty much doing a toe side, which is backside slide, and you're flicking the board in a 360 motion, landing back on it, and riding forward. The safety of the sport is really dire to how you want to do it. Weather suits can be offered by what you plan to do, and they're actually required for races. And I actually have one, but I did not bring it in today because it is very heavy. And you use it when you're going at speeds that you might not feel comfortable at. The cost of them is kind of high. They can run from $500 to $1,000. And most of them have to be replaced every race season, which is every year. And helmets can run from half shells all the way to arrow lids. Half shells are the standard skateboarding bicycle helmets that you normally see. And full faces are sort of like a motorcycle helmet, but they're more lean towards skateboarding in a way, and for ergonomic purposes in your tuck. Arrow lids are the same thing as full faces, but it's a fiberglass shell that surrounds your shoulders, and obviously there's more aero. Pads are worn depending on the skater's discretion. There are hard shells and neoprene pads. I wear the neoprene pads, which can go under clothing and are low profile, which allow more movement, whereas hard shells are the plastic pads that you normally see and allow you to slide on the pavement if you fall. Now I'm going to talk about the setup. The setup that you have this is a downhill freeride setup, boards technically run from 10 inches to 30, maybe from 40 inches wide, or 40 inches in length, 10 inches wide. And the wheelbases range from 26 inches, range from to like 30 inches. And the trucks on this board are precision, which means they're all precise and are made on a CNC machine with exact measurements. You can actually get cast trucks, which are a lot cheaper, but you want to get precision when you go faster because there is virtually no slop in the pivot cup, which is where the nipple of the hanger sits in the base plate. This is the base plate that holds the hanger in the truck. And bearings really don't matter that much, but you actually do need bearing spacers because you want to have as minimal slop as possible. You don't want your wheels to shake around because that can create wobbles and chatter when you're pushing a board out sideways. And when it comes to freestyle boards, like I said, are pretty much the same thing, but they have double kicks, and they're actually flexible. When cruising, boards you'd see at like Zoomies because it's like trendy. They're really like flexy, and they allow you to cruising car really hard and pump, which also goes into trucks. And that's about everything I'm going to talk about today. Thank you.